Hey y'all, it's your girl Mia.
And Whitney. Welcome to the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast,
where you get your weekly dose of top stories, girl talk, and everything in between.
This is where you come when you need your coffee,
but want that tea. So get ready.
Next episode starts now. How have you been this week, Mia?
Busy. I feel like I say that every episode, like, oh, this week has been busy. This week has been fucking busy, okay? I have had my head underwater all week.
With work?
For work. I'm still here, but it feels like work is just picking up quicker and quicker. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing. So
why do you say that?
Because I am in a role where I was hired to do a specific job. And for those that don't know, I'm in HR. So my background is in heavy employee relations, strategic, basically dealing with day-to-day employee shit. Okay. For this job, I was hired to bring over those same qualities that I used to have with my other clients to this department at this new job. However, long story short, I'm now in like an IT HRIS role where I'm helping people, figure out buttons that are missing in their computer. So while I'm on the phone troubleshooting, they're like, where's the tab for the open enrollment? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to find it with you. Like, I don't really know what you want me to do.
Girl, this open enrollment been driving me crazy too.
Girl, so
it's that time of year.
It's really busy, crazy week, and I feel like it's just only going to get crazier.
Yeah.
Thank God for job security. I still love my job, but it's just been a hell of a week.
Yeah, I bet it makes the week go by fast though. The more shit you got to do.
It does.
It makes it fly by.
It does. Yeah, absolutely. How was your week?
Good. Very good. Very good. I went on a date last night, so I'm back out on these dating streets.
Oh, okay. Anybody worth?
It was cool. It was nice to get my feet back out there, test the waters. It was fun. It was cool. It was all right. It was decent. I don't know, man. Dating is such a fucking, oh my God. To be single in these times, it's just like, you can't put too much thought in it until it's time to, I guess. But,
yeah.
Just.
My girlfriend, she's like that. Anytime she ever meets someone that she likes or maybe feels like she could like, she's always like, well, I mean, yeah, he seems like a great guy, but we'll see. I don't know.
Yep. Like, that's how you learn.
Down before it even, she's like, because, I mean, I feel like once I finally am like, oh my God, I like this person.
Girl.
Shit just gets fucked up.
Danger zone. It's like a sensor. They could sense that shit. I don't know. You just got to act very casual until it's time not to be, because you saw that shit with Issa and how she was so, she got so close with that dude and the nigga just ghosted.
Ghosted, I know.
That happens often.
Girl,
with a lot of people.
I've been dating in the dating world, but I do remember all of those things. Girl. It's like the games that we don't want to play, but you kind of have to play the game. Like, I'm not going to call him. I'm waiting on him to call me. Yeah, it's just all the little things that it's exhausting. It can be exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good luck on your dating adventures. I'm rooting for you. I know that you're not one of those people that are pressed to just be with someone. So,
What'd you say?
I said, I know you're not one of those people that's like just pressed to be with someone. So I'm saying, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I actually have to force myself to date and be out there because I'm so comfortable being like independent and stuff. And I'm just like, hold up, I gotta
Yeah.
actually make time to try to
Mm-hmm.
meet people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
A lot of choreography with dating.
and then it's just so much tougher when you're like a real adult and you have to like, work all the time and then, you're tired, but then the only time another adult has to date is after work. So it's like, you gotta make time. It's tough. It was a lot easier when I was 20 something living in my mom's house. It didn't matter.
Just get up and go.
Nothing mattered back then. So,
And then try throwing, for those that have kids,
oh,
it's like
couldn't
you
imagine.
got to make sure that you've got the babysitters, you've got, everything in place, and then you still have to make that time for yourself, essentially, and a lot of times, I know when I was dating, it was exhausting because I would legit be tired.
Exactly.
Like, I'm literally exhausted. It has nothing to do with
Yeah.
the actual dating game. It just like, by the time it's time for me to talk to you, or the time it's time for me to get ready to come meet you, or you pick me up, whatever, like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
So,
that's how I was last night. It was like, I'm tired. Like, I couldn't even make it to 10 o'clock. I mean, I guess we met after work, so it was like 6:45, 7-ish or whatever, but still, I was just like, I'm tired. Like, I couldn't even fake it. Like, Fridays are the worst. I don't even really like to go out on Fridays. Fridays is my coping night and where I restore myself. And then Saturday, Sunday, I have like a lot more energy.
Yeah.
Like, be out here. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
All good things. All good things. I'm dreading having this conversation because I get so sad about the recent passing of Kim Porter.
Yeah.
Who, for those that don't know her, she's known to be a model. She was a previous model back in the 90s. And she, for those that, how we've learned, the society has learned to know her. She has 4 kids, one with Albie Shore, Quincy. Actually, fun fact with that is Quincy, her oldest son, he was named after Albie Shore's mentor, Quincy Jones. And I still don't know how that happened, because I'm thinking, like, I don't know if I would want to name my son after, but Quincy Jones is a legend. So yes, I get it. Like, that's an honor for anyone to be like, oh, you want to name your kid after me, whatever. But anyway, and then her other 3 kids are with Diddy. And she was found dead in her home on Thursday. Details, they haven't really given exact times around that, but she was found dead Thursday. I'm assuming it was later on in the afternoon when they actually found her. Details have unfolded that, there have been speculations. She went to sleep Wednesday night. Wednesday, she had been complaining that she wasn't feeling really well. There had been possible allegations about, her having flu-like symptoms, possibly pneumonia.
Yeah, it's been just a lot of different stories. Like, I just wish people, I don't know. First of all, I'm so tired of TMZ breaking these stories. Like, I just don't understand why TMZ always knows first when some shit goes down with a celebrity. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. And they're the first ones who put out, like, she had pneumonia or was suffering from pneumonia. And then they retracted that and said she was experiencing flu-like symptoms. And I'm like, just say you don't know if you're going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, before you keep changing the story, because people are going to be speculating.
And then and as we know, once something gets out, it's like, that is what happened to her. No, they said she had pneumonia. No, they said that she had flu-like symptoms.
They switched it in like 3 times in one day. I heard about 3 different stories.
One thing that I do know that I'm pretty sure that happened is she did probably die of cardiac arrest. So that's essentially a heart attack. So now what caused that is undetermined. But I mean, I'm sure that is the finality of it all, was that she, her heart just couldn't take it. She had a heart attack.
Yeah.
But
there's actually some people who've come together and Black women group and basically claim that they were using Kim's death as an example and basically claiming that like a lot of African American women are not taken seriously at hospitals and doctors' offices. Like they're turned away and said, "Oh, you're fine, go home." And it's like, for some reason, the demographic of a Black woman is the most likely to be turned away from a doctor or like a hospital. And it's like, you really got to fight for your health. And it brought me back to like my mom, like when she was pregnant with me, I was almost a month late. I was supposed to be born in like February, but I was over a month late. And she kept telling them like something's not right, like she's not moving a lot. And the doctors was like, "No, just go home. Like it's fine. You must have been off about your conception date." And she was like, "I'm not off about my conception date." And so she literally had to like ask to speak to supervisors, whatever. And they finally did all the tests and they realized that like I was like losing fucking nourishment and they had to do an emergency C-section. And she was like, had I went home, and just been like, "Oh, the doctor said everything's fine. I was just wrong about my conception date." She was like, "You'd probably be dead or something, or I'd be dead," because they had to literally do an emergency C-section once they realized that I wasn't tripping. And I'm like, damn, is that really an issue like these days? Like Black women being like turned away?
I have heard about that. I know Serena Williams is very open about talking about her pregnancy, and, her delivery and, things that have happened with surrounding that. And I've also heard other women have come forward who are African-American, Black women, saying some of those same things. And from those conversations, it's been looked to be as though, Black women were known to be strong.
Yeah.
We're known to endure. And, whether that's true or not, the reality of it is that if I'm telling you I'm in pain or something is wrong with me, what is it? I don't need you to send me back home. I had a cousin who died several years ago, and she had severe stomach pain, and she kept going. She was always in and out of the hospital, but they kept sending her home with prescription. But it was like, you're fine, you go home, just lay down.
Sorry.
She took a bath and she was found dead over the bathtub. I mean, there's still speculation on how that happened, but what I'm saying is that.
And they love to just throw prescriptions at people. They love to just throw medicine at some shit.
Yeah, my cousin was suffering. And she took the steps that she needed to take, which was not even going to the doctor. She went to the hospital. She's like, "No, I can't."
When something's not right with you, like, I
can't function. And God knows how Kim Porter was. You think about it, you're like, "Oh, these people have money and this. Well, Serena, she was complaining about the same things. I'm in pain. This isn't happening. She's got tons of money. Kim Porter, she might have the best health. However, these people, and apparently the reports are saying she was in constant contact with her doctor. She had actually been in contact with her doctor the night before about things like, follow-ups and check-ins and stuff like, "I'm not feeling well,
Where was that reported at? Because I haven't gotten no clear, like, statements about what happened. Like, everyone keeps having different reports about, like, her last hours, who found her, what happened. Like, it's just all over the place.
I heard it over the news. And it was like, she had been in contact with her doctor. Now, they didn't lean into what those conversations were, but it was like she had been in contact with her doctor up to her death. So, and I want to say some of those reports might have been in contact the night before. Who knows? I'm going to be honest. I'm praying to God that it was not something like drugs or
I'm praying to God it isn't either.
I pray.
Because when you say cardiac arrest, that's what's so odd, because it's like, at first they had said pneumonia, which most people, they die because of the fluid in their lungs. And it's like, that causes like an embolism or whatever. And then they pass away from that. But when they had said cardiac arrest, and then I was like, that's odd to be cardiac arrest. But then you said it was pneumonia. So
because they don't know.
Exactly.
They don't know. They've got to wait 6 to 8 weeks like we all do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I was asking my sister, I was like, she's a nurse, and I was telling her about, well, we were obviously in communication about this.
Yeah.
I was like, let's just hypothetically say it was something horrific that happened once the reports come back. Yeah. Can the family like conceal that so that the public isn't like, okay, she was found or she overdosed or this happened? Like, can the family conceal that information, or do you have to come out and tell? She was like, I think we can conceal it. But I'm like,
it would leak. Somebody would leak it. Yeah. It's just too high. Like, somebody could like anonymously leak it to TMZ or whoever and get paid off for that information. Yeah. And I feel like they're going to definitely do a state autopsy. And then if they wanted to do like a private one, they could. But it just seems like I'm praying it's not drugs either. And the only other thing I could say is that, like, this is no disrespect to her. She was beautiful, but she was like very thin. So I don't know if like maybe she was not eating like as well as she could have been, or it could have been.
But she's always been so thin.
I know, but like some people battled eating disorders their whole life and we don't know. So it's like that really takes a strain on your heart for people who battle like anemia or anorexia or bulimic. So I'm not saying she was or wasn't, but I'm just saying I know that does take a strain on your heart, and it hurts you when like battling diseases and stuff.
Right.
So I don't know. They got a lot to deal with, and I'm sure like the family and the people close to her know way more than the public does at this time. But I just pray for her family. She has so many kids, and those girls, they are so young, and that's just so sad.
It's so sad. I was crying. I actually had to get a bottle Thursday night because, like I said, I don't know this girl from a can of paint. I have always followed her though. Not so much like a Beyonce, because she's not someone who's in the limelight. Kim Porter is very much behind the scenes. When you see her, you see her. However, I was born in the time where I don't even remember when there wasn't a Diddy. So Diddy, since I've known him to be Puff, whatever he was back in the day, I've always known her to be a part of him in some way.
You said you had to get a what Thursday night?
A bottle of alcohol. I got a bottle of like wine. Yeah, I did. I was crying. I was sad. I don't know why this death affected me. Maybe because it was so unexpected, and like I said, she left behind 4 kids.
That's really sad.
And then, like I said, I've followed her.
Yeah.
I've followed her. It hasn't been since Instagram. It hasn't been because she's Diddy's baby. Yes, that's how I became to know who she was. But I think that it was just natural. I just always thought she was so pretty. She was a brown. She was.
And it just showed a lot that like honestly, she could have really said a lot about this man and probably got a lot of money. She was so cordial. She never really leaked any information. She's never been in any drama. And that just goes to show who a type of person she was. And it seems like she was just so loved. Like everyone, all these celebrities are coming out speaking about their influence. So.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, it doesn't shock me, because how I felt when she died, when I heard the news from my sister that called me, is literally the same way that people who aren't even celebrities and that don't know her have felt. Like, I've seen people say, like, why am I so sad? Like, why am I? My cousin was like, girl, why I feel like she was my cousin? Like, this is huge. Like, this is sad.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how someone can have that kind of impact on you. And she didn't have an impact on me in the sense of like, I want to become this, I wanted to become like her and be this better person. She just who she was, it made her demure, her way of life just intrigued me to continue to be like, oh, there's Kim Porter. Oh, she's on Instagram. Let me follow her. She's just so beautiful. She's so beautiful. And I've always felt like in a perfect world, her and Diddy would absolutely be together. And it's just really sad. It's so sad. And another thing is, they're such a close family. Like Diddy, all of his kids, all the mothers, everyone is so close. And it's the thing that makes it even more sad. She was the head one. She had the main tribe. So it's very sad. And it's just sad. It's just so sad. And I pray that, and I was actually pissed off last night because the Shade Room posted this picture of Diddy. They posted a picture of Diddy and Cassie, and they weren't side by side. It was like a picture of Diddy and then a picture of Cassie. And the headline that the Shade Room first posted was like, Cassie spotted out with Diddy just a day after the sudden death of Kim Porter. I was like, this caption is so fucking messy. And I said that. I was like, this caption is messy. I was like, y'all irk. And then and then all the comments were the same way. They were like, man, you know, of course she gonna be with him. She was with him these last 7 to 11 years. Why wouldn't she be there? And he looked like shit. Yeah. He looked like, Diddy looked like he had been bawling his eyes out. Like,
damn, I haven't seen no pictures of him.
They took that shit down because what happened was they had that original caption. And then when I posted what I posted, and then everybody was like, this is so fucking messy. Shade Room, y'all are on some, you know, clown shit for this. Then they rearranged the caption to make it more, you know, oh, she's consoling. Let's continue to keep the fam. And then they changed it one more time before they decided to just take the whole fucking picture down.
I wonder who they got the picture from. I know they didn't get it.
No, but if you go, if you go to Diddy and you type in Diddy, I'm sure there's I'm not going to say I'm sure that there are other pictures of that same thing that they posted. And again, it's just a paparazzi.
They knew they were going to get backlash. I mean, what they expect?
I'm just like, the Shade Room out of all people, like, come on. Like, it's not even the picture. Yeah. To me, it was the caption that was so disrespectful. Like, this woman is still fucking cold. Like, she ain't even in the grave yet. Like, don't assume, like, I don't know. It's just, it wasn't any news to break. Like, of course.
I mean, it wasn't like him and Kim Porter was together. I mean, yes, that was the mother of his children, but they've been not together for years. So,
right.
But at the end of the day, I don't know why anyone's shocked. Like, it's the Shade Room. Like, I know we're used to the Shade Room, but it's like the Shade Room started from being shady. Like, their name is the Shade Room. Like, they don't have no morals.
Regardless, I'm glad they took that shit down. There's a lot of
because of the backlash for sure.
And they keep it up. There's a lot of stuff they get backlash for, and they keep it up. They took that shit down immediately. That picture wasn't on there more than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
because they got so much heat for that. And that's another thing. Usually, when someone dies, I even see within the comments, there's some shade from people. I haven't been able to find really one shady comment. I'm sure that there are, but I'm saying in the masses,
everyone is just, the only shady comments I've seen is towards Diddy. Not anything towards
everyone has been unified with this death, which speaks volumes.
And people have been trying to figure out, a lot of people think it's suspicious. Like, I mean, that I've seen that in the comments. That's the only thing I've seen is like people want to know like what happened, because they're like, it's 85 degrees in LA. Like, you said it was pneumonia. Now it's not pneumonia. So people are like, what's happening? Like, that's the only other thing I've seen in the comments. I think I sent you like the one I saw, but
which is understandable.
That's about it.
Because, I mean, she just died. We'd love to know answers. I mean, that's the first thing when people die. It's like, ooh, how they died. Like, we just don't know.
And it's just, when it comes to celebrities and rich people, it just seems like it's an overwhelming like percentage of them that die from unknown causes or debatable causes. It's never just straight how it is.
They either die from unknown causes or the overdose, or, you know, it's because I've always been like, why have all the greats, like, because you equate money, I don't now equate money to happiness. I mean, give me some so I can find out, but I don't necessarily equate money to happiness. But I know that, like, as I was growing up, I'm like, gosh, like Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, Whitney Houston, all these people that die of overdoses, it's like, they have all this money, they have all these access, they have all this. Like, why are they even doing drugs to the point where they're blowing their, you know, they're overdosing? Like,
girl, all these people don't die of overdoses.
Well, but it's not
all of them do not. But the ones that we know about, there's no denying they were on drugs. And I guess I just don't understand why people. Some of them, I don't believe Prince was ever on drugs. Can't nobody tell me Prince was on drugs. Like, I'm not believing that whole story. Like, Prince ain't never acted like he was on drugs his whole life. This man has always been clear-minded. This man was doing multiple interviews, like clear-minded about drones and all types of government shit, and about how he was fighting for his royalties from his record label. And then he just up and dies, and they're like, oh yeah, he overdosed. I'm like, Prince ain't did drugs.
Oh, they said
whole
he
50-year career.
They
said he was sick. They said he was sick, and he may have mixed up his medicines or some shit. I don't know, but I just want people to know that, like, I don't know. I just feel like we got to think. It's not always the simplest answer. It could be, yes, but when you're dealing with people who have millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, it's like you don't know what people are willing to do for that. Like, we don't.
But I also feel like,
you just don't know.
Some families, I do feel like there are some families, depending on the death, they want to conceal that. Like Luther Vandross, he allegedly died of AIDS, but nobody knew how he died. It was like, oh, he had a heart attack or, something. So, but those that like loved him and were like his friend, like Patti LaBelle, like she was like, no, he was gay. He had AIDS. You don't find that out. So, but I mean, the media didn't just blast and be like, okay, this is how he died of AIDS and he was gay. It was literally something that we were like, he died of what? A heart attack? What? But later finding out through people who were close to him, this man was gay and he
I never heard that.
Apparently. So, but I never knew that. But again,
I never knew that either.
But
just drop some tea
people
on me.
that are like older, like my sister and my mom, they're like, oh yeah, you never saw him with a woman. You didn't know Luther was gay. I'm like, I didn't really follow Luther. I love.
Did he have kids? Luther Vandross? Did Luther have kids?
No.
Oh. Okay.
You never saw him with a woman.
To
Never.
dance with my father again.
Oh,
yeah, that's about his father. You're right. Yeah, he had no kids.
But I mean, again, that's his business. If he wrote something that was like, don't tell people that how I died. And, I just think that there with the good, here comes the bad. You're going to have those deaths that are tainted and some fucked up shit happened. Then you're going to have some that this is how they actually died. And then you're going to have some that have probably just made it past and was like, don't, try to keep this media underground. And,
And I'm just saying, there's also people out there who would do a lot of crazy shit for a lot of money, and especially corporations and shit.
Yeah.
But
that
scares people to think about stuff like that. So I understand.
But God bless the Combs. And is Albie Shore's last name Shore? I don't know. But God bless his family. But more importantly, God bless those kids, because
so sad.
I just can't imagine. So sad.
R.I.P. And we will catch y'all later.
It's been real.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the Black Coffee and Tea podcast, available now on iTunes, Spotify, Souncloud, and YouTube.
And if you want to be a part of the BCT fam, make sure you follow us on Instagram at BCT Podcast.
Until next time.